Hello, YouTube. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are having a great week so far. So, today's Wednesday, and on Wednesdays, I like to give you guys updates on my WIPs that are time sensitive. Now, if you're new to my channel and you're wondering, okay, what does time sensitive mean? Well, I participate in multiple make alongs on YouTube and a couple on Facebook, and usually they're for a month, the make alongs, and gotta get them done in time to enter them into the make alongs. Well, this one is actually for the whole month, the whole summer season, and it's by Heather the Crochet Witch. And I will try to remember to link her channel down below, the actual video that I'm referring to for today's make along that I'm, like I said, participating in. Now, to give you guys a little backstory quickly, she's done this now for a couple years. Last year, I had something I really, really wanted to make. Did I make it? No. Did I have the supplies to make it? Oh, heck no. Did I have the money and get the supplies to even attempt to make it? Or to put the supplies aside till now and make it? No. That is still on my wish of something I would love to make at some point. But at this time, not happening. So, what is it she does? Well, she's a big Stranger Things fan, and she decides every summer to have a make along to either make something Stranger Things related or the 80s. And the reason the 80s is because the show Stranger Things on Netflix is based in the 80s. So I decided this year I was definitely going to take part. Now, originally I got on Pinterest, looked at some graphs, found one I liked, and I thought, okay, this could be a cute little project bag for myself. And I got started on it. You guys would have seen part of it last week. I almost had the whole section of the word up made. Well, that got scratched. That part of it was going well. And when I got the trailer on Saturday, hubby and I had to go out there and do some stuff. Well, he had some yard work stuff he had wanted to get done, and we had some stuff we were planning Sunday out in that area, so we thought might as well be out there anyways. I worked on it Saturday throughout the day, and at one point him and I were sitting under the awning where it was a little cooler, and he was taking a break from mowing the yard and stuff. And I'm looking at it, because by this time I'm at the second word, thinking, I don't like how this is looking. It's not the way it should be. And of course, my husband just looks at it, goes, oh, it's fine, just keep going, like you're doing good, and blah, 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 blah. So I continued on with what I was doing, how I was doing it. And then he went off to go do something, and I looked at it and I thought, you know what, as a crafter, if you're making something and you're literally not happy with how it looks, it's going to drive you crazy. And this wasn't even halfway done, and I was losing my mind. I thought, nope, I got to rip this out. I'm not happy with it at all. And I think it's just because the color changing was so much in the second section as to where I was. And even further up in the pattern, it was going to be the same idea. I thought, no, I'm not doing it this way. So I decided, okay, let's rip it out and let's do a solid panel. And then we'll, and do cross stitch on top of the solid panel for each section, for each letter, and we'll cross stitch the letters in that into the panel. I've done something like that before with another project I made years ago. I'm a NASCAR fan, by the way, and the NASCAR driver I liked at the time, he ended up going by 3 different numbers. So I put his first number like multiple times, and then his first name, and then the second number he went by, his last name, and then the third number he went by before he retired. So I thought, I can do this, no problem. Now that was made with the Red Heart Super Saver yarn. So it's a worsted classic, 4-weight acrylic 100% yarn. And what I was using was the Burnett Value yarn, which is also a 4-weight, 100% acrylic. But the Burnett I find is more drapey. And, to me, a Burnett Value yarn, I feel like it's a 3 in my opinion. It's very light. It's airy. You put that with a worsted Burnett, Red Heart, or even loops and threads from Soft Classic from Michaels, that's a plump 4, if not treading over to the size 5 weight yarn, in my opinion. So I decided once I got to, I think, 2 rows to go to get the size of the square I would need, or well, rectangle I would need to fit the words in. I'm looking at it thinking, okay, the width of the bag would be nice. It's about this much shorter in width than the pillow sack that I would have used to line the bag with. No big deal. I just have to make sure I tacked it in the corners just so that it kind of fit in there, kind of, sort of. Now, had I added more stitches to accommodate for the width missing, would have been better. And then I'm looking at it thinking it was going to be wide, but short in height. So it's going to be kind of like plump, and I thought this won't look right. And I was like, don't like it. Don't like it at all. So again, I ripped it out. I thought, okay, I have the chart on my tablet. So if I'm away, I can pull it up and enlarge it and figure out where I am and do my counts and so on. Then I also have it on my computer here at home. So, if I'm sitting here working on it, instead of turning my tablet on and off, on and off, on and off, which is more of a nuisance, and then bringing up the picture, I thought, yeah, no, we ain't doing that. So I scrapped it now twice. I thought, oh my goodness, am I going to come up with an idea on what to make? And I really want to make the bag. Well, I've changed my mind. Now, for any of you that might still be with me and you are watching Stranger Things and you've not yet seen season 4, spoilers coming ahead. I don't want to ruin it for you guys. So if there is anybody here that has not seen season 4 yet, maybe considering stopping here, and I'll see you again at a later date. Unless spoilers don't bother you, then please stay around. Anyways, okay, here we go. Spoiler alert. Season 4, we get introduced to a few new characters. 2 of them are Eddie Munson and Chrissy, and I don't remember what her last name was. Anyways, they both become very important characters in season 4. Now, Chrissy's backstory is she's being mentally, I'm trying to think how I could put this, traumatized, I guess you could say, would be lack of words. And she's gone through issues at home and things like that. And she wasn't very stable. Like, she was losing her mind kind of thing. And she was trying to get counseling and it was not helping. And she was spiraling downhill real bad, real fast. Then the second character that was introduced was Eddie Munson. Love Eddie. I love that guy so much. I just thought he was a great character. Fun to watch on the screen. Ooh, we found out real quick about Eddie's, character, that even though he's a high school student and stuff, he was one of the bad boys. He was heavily involved in adult illegal substance. Would be, I guess, a great way to explain to what his party of choice item would be. He was a bit of a loner kind of thing. Like, he had a few friends and such, but he wasn't as cool as he thought he was. Anyhow, Chrissy, going the way she was going, knew of Eddie, knew what he was all about, and she approached him. She thought, well, maybe I got my hands on some of this stuff. It would help me relax, so on and so on. Well, while they're kind of talking and he's debating if he's going to help her or not, I kind of, at that point, wish their storyline had gone further due to, the chemistry between them was really nice. And he was slowly bringing her out of her shell. And I think had they kept their character storylines intermingled the way it was, would have progressed to the good without the road she wanted to take. Because he was doing really good at helping her out for that time they spent together. Anyhow, so he decides, okay, I'm going to help her. I'm going to get her some of what she wants. She really seems to need something to mellow out and, get her mind off of what's going on and stuff like that. They go back to his place while she's standing there waiting for him, and he's rummaging in the room looking for the supply stash that he thought he had, but I think for some reason had already used. He comes out of the room to tell her, I don't have anything. Well, while he's in there, all of a sudden, she kind of goes into a trance. And her exterior body is just like frozen in time, but her mind and everything is just going buck wild, like with what was going on inside her and stuff like that. Well, he comes out, sees her like this, and he starts to get worried, thinks he's tripping on something. Meanwhile, he hadn't done anything. And this is where the sign I thought of. Well, I also graphed out the saying he gives to her because he's panicking, like he's trying to wake her up. He's calling her name, he's shaking her, snapping his fingers in front of her face, clapping his hands, raises his voice to her, and she's not moving. Well, one of the things he says to her is, Chrissy, wake up. So I graphed out the graph I found. So here it is. Chrissy, wake up. Now, I'm not doing it in these colors. That's just the way I drew the graph, just to make it so the letters were well to be seen. Anyways, it's kind of a good thing she didn't wake up, because what happens to her next really sets the scene for season 4. And literally, her body distorts into a really weird position and ends her life. She's the first character to have that happen to her, but not the last. And Eddie freaks out, takes off. But that's saying, Chrissy, wake up. Like, there became a thing where, Chrissy, wake up. I don't like this, and stuff. And it was kind of an important line in season 4. So I decided to stick with the yarn I was using because, the 2 colors I'd chosen, which was the medium gray and a purple, I like those colors. And I decided I was going to do corner to corner. Now, it's no longer going to be a bag, by the way. Now, the stitch marker is just to remind me this is the front side. And, of course, I'm, partly working on a rose. So, oh, well, it's going to be a wall hanger. It's going to be a good size wall hanger. I think I've got about 15 more to go, and I will be halfway done the height. So I'll bring it closer so you guys can see the purple. Like I said, it's only a couple little pieces right at the moment. But here's the wall hanger as of right now. It's going to be a nice size. I think once I'm done with it, I'm going to trim it in purple. I think will really help it to pop in color. But we'll see. I do know I need to get, once I know what the width is going to be, a stick of some kind that's pretty straight. And then I can kind of, when I trim it, every so often loop it around the stick and then chain it up to make it into a hanger. But that's what I'm making. I'll definitely have to make sure I take some pictures of it at my camper on the grass with full sunlight where you guys can see it better, because I know here in the video you cannot. The colors are awfully close together, but once I get a little further along, it might be a little more noticeable. So that's what I'm making for the make-along. I'm hoping it will turn out nice, and hopefully I'm not going to rip it out a third time. Because it's a wall hanger, I am carrying the yarn back and forth. So you will see parts where, you'll see a little string going up. I'm not doing all these little balls of yarn and all these tie-ons, because those who know me well, that I do not like to sew. Well, crocheting, not as bad to, sew in the ends. Knitting, oh, I hate doing that knitting. Anyways, guys, if you're new to my channel and you like this, you like what you've seen, even though it's not much right now, but I can't wait to see the end results, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I am mainly a yarn channel. I crochet and I knit. I've dabbled a little bit in doing the looms. I do plan on working on that a little more and getting hopefully a little better at it. I also am attempting gardening on my balcony for the first time this year. And as I mentioned earlier, hubby and I went camping. So we go camping and stuff and fishing. Fishing though for the year is done because we just did the free fishing this year, and no luck for me on that aspect. Husband did okay this year, but myself didn't catch a thing. So, anyways, again, thank you guys for stopping by. Consider hitting the thumbs up. I appreciate it. And I will see you guys next time. Oh, tomorrow is Thursday. I have not yet started the project. I do know the winning project that got picked. I haven't even picked out my yarn yet. So maybe after I get this video uploaded, maybe I'll get that ready to go. And I'll have something for you guys tomorrow for that project. So guys, thanks again, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.